Okay everybody, so Santa bought me a stinking cold this year for Christmas, which actually came on really strong on Christmas Day, and it wasn't even on my Christmas present list. So I've got to say a big shout out to Santa. Thanks for the cold, it's really appreciated. But you know how they say in showbiz, the show must go on. But I do apologise if I start coughing and spluttering. And ideally, I wanted to bring you this video a few days ago, but it's just been impossible to film. So 2024 has been a real positive year when it comes to us testing out new running kit and shoes here on the channel. And we've done lots of reviews. Some of those products have performed really well, been really impressed, and some not so well. But with it being New Year's Eve, I thought it'd be perfect timing to run you through all the standout pieces of running gear that I've tested. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and let's find out what they are. Welcome back everyone, hope you had a fantastic Christmas day, and I really do hope that you weren't on Santa's naughty list this year and he left you lots of great running goodies under the tree. In fact, even better still, get in the comments below and tell us all about the great running presents you received this year. But I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Thanks for tuning in again. So let's start this video off with the first item on 2024's Gear of the Year list. Recently myself and Lee travelled all the way over to Jordan in the Middle East to take on the brilliant Ultra X Jordan, which is a multi-stage desert race that takes place in the spectacular Wadi Rum. Now we knew this was going to be challenging, what with it being 220 kilometres in distance, spread over 5 independent stages, but we'd also be living and breathing and eating under the stars in traditional Bedouin tents. And you know, surprise, surprise, the desert really is a harsh and hot environment to be in. Now we were fortunate enough that our Road to Jordan series was sponsored by SOAR Running Apparel, and they hooked us both up with some of their incredible hot weather kit, including shorts, long sleeve and short sleeve tees, socks and caps. And all the kit performed incredibly well in that harsh desert environment. But the standout item for both of us was actually the brilliant Sahara caps. Now, we wore these both for literally the entirety of the race, and I think they had a big part to play in us making it across the 220 kilometre distance and making it back to that finish line on the final day. The caps were constructed from extreme sun blocking, quick drying, super breathable mesh panels, and with them being so lightweight, you could hardly notice that you actually had the caps on your head. Also had a really good length of brim, so that give you a nice bit of shade across your face, adjustability from a pull cord on the back, and the pièce de résistance has to be the feather-like canopy on the back of the cap that shaded your ears and your neck, and literally was the perfect item of kit that we needed for being out there in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the day, the hottest part of the day, with that Wadi Rum sun bearing down on us. The cap was super comfy to run in while offering us the ultimate protection from that intense sun, and I think the race would have been a very different story without them. So if you are looking at planning a hot race in a faraway exotic location and you're looking for running gear, then I think the SOAR Sahara Cap is worth a closer look. Now, it's not the cheapest cap out there, but I really do think it's one of the best. Up next is a Headtorch from the guys at Fenix, and it is the latest version of their very popular HM65RT, the V2. Now, this has been my sort of go-to Headtorch for the last 3 years, and I think it's actually featured on one of our gear lists before. But the latest version, the V2, I pretty much use this for every nighttime run I've done this year, whether it be training or racing, and it hasn't let me down once. Their torches are always really well manufactured, and this is no exception, so this is bomb-proof, this unit. We've also got a really good bright output, a long burn time on the battery, but everything is really easy to adjust on the move, and that's what I like about the unit. It's so simple to use. So we've got this boa style adjustment system on the headband, so turn it one way to tighten, one way to loosen. Really easy to get that tension set up for your sort of head shape. And you also get 2 big buttons on top of the unit itself, really easy to reach up, flick through to your desired setting while you're on the move. So I really think it makes the unit a good choice if you're out there running long ultra marathons where you could be spending a big percentage of that race running in the dark. Next up is something that I get asked all the time on the channel, and it is, what shorts am I running in while I filmed that video? So I tend to be wearing a pair of brilliant shorts from Saysky, and it is their Motion 8-inch shorts. Now, I've worn these shorts pretty much exclusively for the last sort of 2 or 3 years. They definitely are my favorite running short, and the reason being, I like the length of them. They're not too short, they're not too long, just right for me. They seem to work really well for my body shape as well, but the main reason is they don't come with that internal sort of mesh brief liner, so no liner in the shorts. Now, that works well for me because I tend to run in CXP's brilliant endurance running underwear, so any shorts I use with that internal brief setup, it just kind of tends to get in the way. But I also really like the material that Saysky use. It's very comfortable to run in, never caused me any sort of irritation or rubbing or anything like that over those 3 years, and I have tested them out in some tough long races over that time. But I also like the fact that they come with 2 zip pockets, so it makes them super functional when we're away traveling in the adventure bus. It means I can take them out of the bag, put them on for a training run, but I can also wear them for sort of everyday casual wear. So if you are looking for that sort of multifunctional pair of shorts, it might be worth taking a closer look at the brilliant Saysky Motion 8-inch short. Number 4 on this year's list has to be the updated Helvellyn Pro Carbon Z poles from Harrier. Now, I used the previous version for years and I was really impressed with them, but I personally think with the updates, they've taken an awesome pair of trail running poles and made them even better this time round. So we've got a lighter setup, they've used an upgrade on the carbon fibre so the poles are a bit stiffer now so you can get more power through them, but they've also made the mud baskets on the bottom smaller, and they've sort of stripped back and made the whole design a bit sleeker this time round. So it really does help when it comes to sort of stowing them away or taking them out if you use a pole quiver. I personally think the Helvellyn Pro carbon poles are one of the best items of trail running kit that the Harrier brand produce, and at £105 I think they're great value, especially when you compare them to similar poles on the market. But if £105 is still a bit too pricey for you, then I would recommend going along to the Harrier website and checking out their extensive range of running poles, because I personally think they have a set of poles there to suit everybody's budget. And speaking of poles, the next item is running pole related, and it is the ingenious twin quiver pole carrying system from the guys at Instinct Trail Running. Now, the first time I saw this, I was actually walking around the UTMB Expo earlier in the year, and it really stood out to me and I thought it was a great idea. So we actually popped along later to the Instinct stand and had a chat with Instinct Trail Running founder and product designer Sean. We had an awesome talk all about races and training and running, and obviously a lot of the products that they produce, but he really went into detail why he thought that this sort of twin quiver pole carrying system was needed in the trail running market. He is so knowledgeable and passionate about the products that his company produces, and he is a trail runner himself, and a pretty good trail runner at that. I've tested out a few of their products on the channel before, and I've always been really impressed with the build quality, the functionality, and the attention to detail. And it's no different with this twin quiver system. It works really well. You feel that the poles are better balanced across your back. You get way less movement and noise, but more importantly, it makes it a lot easier to grab those poles out if you're just about to tackle a big climb, or to break them down and stow them away if you're going to be running a technical descent. So another well-designed product from the French trail running brand, but we have reached that time where we're going to talk about the last item in this year's list, and it's actually an item that I've tested out recently on the channel, and it is the latest GPS sports watch from the guys at COROS, the Pace Pro. Now, I might be a little bit biased here because I've been using a COROS watch for the last 3 years and I'm a big fan of what they do, but I think with them adding the new 1.3-inch AMOLED touchscreen display to the new Pace Pro, I think they've taken their GPS watches to another level. But it doesn't really stop there, because we've also got that new improved GPS and mapping. The navigation feature worked really well when I tested it out across the Hail Towns here in Hail. And then obviously we've got the legendary COROS battery life. Now, like I said, I've been using the Apex Pro for years and I was really happy with that watch. It performed well for me and I thought it gave me everything I needed from my GPS running watch. That was until I took the Pace Pro out for its first run, and that that new AMOLED display just makes so much difference. Super bright, really easy to read when you're on the move. And you know, I've just been so impressed with that display. I can't see myself ever going back to my old Apex Pro because this unit is just so much better. So there you have it, folks. There is a list of all the standout running items that I've tested out and used this year, and I'm sure I'll continue to use them into 2025. I've actually left links for all the gear that is featured in today's video in case you want to check it out in a bit more detail. I've also included links to the videos that have featured on the channel when it comes to reviewing those items. So hopefully that makes it a bit more helpful. And on that note, we pretty much wrap up 2024. So all I gotta say is Happy New Year's Eve, or if you're watching this afterwards, I hope you had a fantastic evening full of incredible celebrations. We've already got some great content and some great plans for 2025, and we can't wait to share them with you. I've got to take this opportunity to thank every single one of our fantastic viewers for all the support that you've given Liga and myself throughout 2024. You know, without your support, we just wouldn't be able to continue doing what we love to do. So a massive thanks, it really is appreciated. But for now, guys, again, thanks for watching. Happy New Year. We will see you on the other side in 2025. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. But also, on the unit itself, we've got two big buttons on the top. Really I wanted to bring you this video a bit earlier, but I just haven't been capable of filming. And with it being Christmassy, oh dear.